Welcome to my channel, everyone. In this video we are going to talk about Render, TAO, Kaspa and ONDO. Things many exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. And if you also want to trade with cheap takeoff fees, then I can recommend you the crypto exchange mexc. So most likely over 100 tokens are tradable without any kind of fees, and here you can see some popular altcoins which you can trade. And for the other coins you have to pay at least some fees. If you want to use my referral link, which you can find in the video description, then you are also getting something back. You will get 20% discount on the fees. So basically use the referral link, which you can find in the video description, if you want to start trading with cheap takeoff fees. So before we start the video, I have showed it in the Bitcoin update, I have showed it in the also in the SUI Avalanche update. So basically my P&L. What I want to show you here is not how much money I make, how profitable I am, and that everyone should follow me and copy my trades. I'm not saying this. What I want to show you is that let's be realistic. We have days where we have losers. If we go into August, we have days where we have many loser trades, but compare the numbers. Minus 53, minus 200, minus 76, minus 100, minus 123, minus 128. So I always keep my losses between $100 to $200 per day. This is what I'm ready to lose per day. But if you look on the other hand into my profits, like in the whole month August, I also had days, many days, like half of the months I didn't even trade. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days. But 940, 2K, 550. If we now look into September, September was a bit better, 1.6K, $2,850 right today. So be realistic. If you see some YouTubers who are flexing with hundreds of thousands and millions, who I don't know. I saw some traders who opened positions and had $3, $4, $5 million in profits. If it's even real or not, I don't know. If it's maybe a demo account, or if the exchange just gave them money because they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I don't know. I just know that the casinos are doing this. So if a casino wants to get an influencer in, then they are setting them, for example, €500,000 or dollars. I even doubt that this is real money, but it is shown as real money. So always be careful. Here, this is real. I always keep $1,000 into my account. This is also very realistic because, trust me on that, you don't want to trade with your whole life savings in day trading, especially not crypto. You are not going to put all of your money into crypto. Yeah, I know some people do because they think they are going to get millions with it, but most likely cryptos are high risk. I don't know any kind of assets which are more risky than cryptos. And if you now imagine, crypto is already the most, like one of the most riskiest things, assets. Now put leverage on that. It makes it even, it's not high risk anymore. This is just insane. But like I said, I always keep 1K on my account. 30 days P&L, $7,500. The only difference is that I'm not going to reinvest that money. I also have told myself, I don't care what I see today. If any breakout happens, I'm not going to trade it because I have too much money on my account. I first want to cash it out, which I'm going to do later or tomorrow. And then I'm going to continuing trading because I just know that we are all human. Even if I have my trading rules that I always keep playing like I have 1K. Now I have 4K on the account. And what if I'm more risky? What if I'm not ready to lose $100 to $200 per day, which I have at the moment? What if I'm today ready to lose $500, $1K? I don't want to lose my profits. That's why I will cash them out and I will put them into stocks. And the stock which I think is very interesting right now is Western Union. If you want to see like in which stocks I want to invest with my crypto money, then let me know. I also do an analysis. The last time I bought UPS, and yeah, I have to see tomorrow or in 2 days. Is even the yeah, in 2 days the exchange is still open. So basically Western Union is currently on my watch list. This might be the stock which I want to buy with the profits. So cashing out, very important, because just because, look, 30 days PNL is 750%. Don't look into the 219%. This is based on what I have right now on my account. Basically, once I cash out, this PNL will also go up over the time. If I trade right now and I make 1K, then in my opinion, I made 100% more. But mexc is going to tell me, hey, you just made 25%. So keep that in mind. I made 750% this month. Warren Buffett, the richest trader on planet Earth, makes 20% a year, and if he's very good, 30% a year. I made 750% per month. This is not sustainable. So if I keep reinvesting, then I have to make sure tomorrow I can get minus 50%, and then you don't see 7.5k here anymore, you are going to see 3k. What if I get minus 90%? Then I'm even in losses. So keep that in mind. It's always better to take out profits, cash them out, even if you don't want to invest in stocks. Make a nice day with that. That's why we trade, I think. So let's talk about render. This is more important. Render looks good to me. It looks like that we are also going to break out over the $3.93. Target $4.20. So what I want to see is a sustainable breakout. Yeah, it looks good to me right now, but I want to see several candle closes over $3.93, a retest, and if I see it tomorrow, then I'm going to get into in trade. $4.21 is the first target of the old falling wedge in orange, this one right here, which broke to the upside already. If we are more bullish, then we can extend into $4.50. There we have another target of this head and shoulders format, inverted head and shoulders formatation, and also a fair value gap. So keep that in mind. We can also extend there. Might be even possible that we are not going to see a sustainable breakout, that we are just going to see, for example, yeah, we first got the sign, we got a candle close, but same happened here as well. We got here the candle close, but afterwards we sold off. So basically keep that in mind. Render can still sell off. We also have a fair value gap here. So basically if I want to set a stop loss, and if I set my stop loss lower than the low here, then if we are going to sell off, then with a very high chance we should hit that. So basically risk to reward ratio is not good for render right now if I'm not in a trade. If I want to open one, a new one, risk to reward ratio is not good. If I already have one, then I would keep it rolling. Once the $3.70 breaks to the downside, then I would actually think about a more bearish scenario. And also here is a support trend line. And I have talked about many bearish chart patterns in the Dogecoin, HBAR, SUI update. There are many bearish chart patterns. What I want to show you here is we had here a bearish chart pattern. So basically this was in head and shoulders formatation. Did we break it to the downside? Did we get this kind of price movement? No, we didn't even got a candle close lower than the orange trend line. So this pattern is on the chart, but it never got activated. Instead, we push more to the upside. This pattern got even invalidated. I would still keep this trend line on the chart. This is a support trend line. I will give you the mark here, the price mark. $3.77. If they break to the downside, then I would first think about a more bearish scenario. Can happen. And once the $3.70 breaks to the downside, which is this red trend line, then I would say with a very high chance we should sell off far more than most people expect right now. So what about TAO? TAO looks very good to me. Do we get it on the 1 hour chart, or do I have to move into the 4 hour chart? 1 hour chart is perfect. So falling wedge. Broke to the upside, got its retest. This here also looks like an inverted head and shoulders formatation. TAO looks bullish to me. The only issue here is if the other coins are breaking to the downside, then TAO is also not going to push more to the upside. The only thing which we can hope for is that TAO is going to get the same movement, which I also expect, like Avalanche and ONDO. We switch very briefly, shortly into Avalanche. Look into the price movement. Once we broke to the upside, we got this kind of price push. Let's move to ONDO. ONDO got this kind of movement. It can go very fast. So for TAO, we have to hope that the overall crypto market is going up and TAO is going to get a push like Avalanche. I don't think that Avalanche is going to replicate the same push which it got a few hours and days ago to the upside again. I don't think that. I think the push for Avalanche is almost done. A few percentages to the upside are still there. But TAO is a coin where I would say $3.56 is the first target. But once we break it to the upside, then I actually think $404 can get hit very fast. I have just showed you that with Avalanche. Look into the price development of Avalanche. The other coins like Ethereum and Bitcoin, yeah, they also broke to the upside, but they didn't do this kind of movement. Avalanche went into the first take profit area. Same can happen to TAO. We have to see that. For now, everything looks positive to me. $330 is going to be the price mark. Once we lose it, then I'm going to say, hey, this is going to get very bearish. Otherwise, I know it is far away and I don't have any kind of other trend lines where I would say once we break that to the downside, it's going to be bearish. That's why I would wait a bit longer for TAO. For now, $356 is very realistic to get hit for TAO. If we are going to get a nice push to the upside, afterwards into 404, for example, we have to see. Maybe we are going to get this kind of movement. Then we can say, hey, here is a rising wedge, bearish chart pattern. If we break it to the downside, then we have more then we would get a verification that the push is over for TAO. If we now look over Kaspa, yeah, the push which we got right here, very impulsive. This was a 10% candle within a few minutes. Overall, still falling wedge, broke to the upside. We also have said we have our bull flag on the chart. This one right here. Positive. We broke it to the upside. The retest was there. It was just a bigger retracement into the old support trend line. Positive. The only thing which we have to wait for is the follow through. And the follow through happens once we get over the price mark of the old top, which is 8.366. Here's the price mark. Next target, 8.5 cents. If we break the 8.5 cents to the upside, then we can see the same price movement like we have seen for Avalanche and for ONDO into the 88.75% cent. So basically everything looks good to me for Kaspa. And yeah, we have to see, we have to wait, we have to be patient. I think that the targets to the upside are going to get worked off, so we should hit them. And then we have to see if we are going to sell off, because we still have huge fair value gaps lower than us. And in my opinion, yeah, maybe in the most bullish case, we get to 8.8 cents, or even, yeah, we also have a target at 9.4 cents and 10.2 cents. I doubt that we are going to get there at the moment, but that we're just not going to get into 8.8 cents. Everyone thinks everything is bullish. Everyone goes into long positions. And then this happens before the real altcoin season for Kaspa is going to happen. Yeah, we are already in the altcoin season, but the altcoin season is not like every coin is going to push 200, 300% within one day, and simultaneously it always starts with Bitcoin season. This is always the beginning. We have a Bitcoin season. The money goes from Bitcoin into Ethereum and into the other large caps. Ethereum made a new all-time high while Bitcoin wasn't doing a new all-time high. So we were in an Ethereum season. We see that Solana is also outperforming the other large caps. We also see that the BNB and Hypecoin are also at all-time high levels or made a huge all-time high. I think BNB was somewhere at $800, $900. Yeah, I'm not looking into BNB daily, just sometimes. But 8-hour chart. Yeah, BNB even did a new all-time high today. So basically, we are in the altcoin season. It just needs time until the money goes from BNB into, for example, HBAR, into, for example, Dogecoin, into Kaspa. So what I think is that actually those coins, those large caps, are going to see sooner or later. Yeah, I'm not analyzing BNB daily. I have done it in the past, but BNB was moving, I would say, too slow in my opinion. If BNB gets a pullback like this, the other coins are also going to lose. Like Kaspa can go down below here. Afterwards, now I have to go back into BNB USDT. Afterwards, BNB is just going to get a lower high to this one. So the all-time high is in for Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't want to say that BNB, the all-time high got hit and now we are in the bear market for BNB. I don't want to say this right now, but this is just an example. But then we should see one day the all-time high of BNB. BNB is going to sell off. BNB is also going to get up, forming a lower high. What is Kaspa doing while BNB gets the lower high? Kaspa is most likely getting this, because BNB is for sure the large cap. If a few millions goes into BNB, that's not actually causing a huge push for BNB. If 100, 200, 300 millions goes into BNB, then yes, it can cause a bit, but I actually don't know what the market cap of BNB is right now. But those kind of money, the number of money is not going to cause BNB to push 200, 300%. Not anymore. If the people, the old investors of BNB are going to take their profits from BNB and they put at least, let's just say they take out $100 million and they just put $5 million into Kaspa, it's just an example, then Kaspa can push 100, 200% to the upside. Possible. This is how the altcoin season works. People are going from the large caps where the most money is there, they are taking their profits, and that kind of money is causing such a huge push for mid to low caps. So keep that in mind. I think that Kaspa is going to get a nice movement to the upside, which we can also trade. Like I said, I was in my trades. I closed everything because I was far too over leveraged and the profit was good. Like you can see before, today was 2.8k profits. So basically, this is what I was going for. I'm happy for today. I don't want more. Now we can see the push into 8.8 cents, maximum extension in my opinion. Afterwards, sell off, and then altcoin season for Kaspa. My dream scenario, because I want to get into a long position down below here, because I think Kaspa is going to hit maybe 20 cents or even more if we have the chart patterns. So I also wanted to give you something as a takeaway for the altcoin season. So what about ONDO? This impulsive movement to the upside looks very good to me. And yeah, we made so far a break of structure. With those tops right here, we took all of them out. Here we got resistance. I can just put a trend line here to make it better to see for you. So we got rejected there. Basically, we fished all the liquidity and stop losses which were over the tops. Positive so far. What I also think is positive is that this kind of movement which we have right now, this correction, it looks to me like a bullish correction. And yes, a bullish correction means we can also get lower prices, but afterwards a breakout to the upside looks kind of good, especially after we saw such a kind push to the upside. Then what can we do? If this is the real bull flag, then we can just measure the length of the first push, and we can put it here to the breakout point. 10.10 cents were our target from the falling wedge in bright blue, which we have seen right here. This is the falling wedge. First attempt of a breakout didn't work, but the second attempt worked so far. 10.10 cents is the target. My personal target was always the resistance at $1.30. If the bull flag is going to work, then we have a target at $1.30. So I would wait here for a corrective movement to the downside. If I see something like, then I have to go into the 50 minutes time frame, for example, and I see some kind of bottom. Yeah, okay, you can't probably see it. Let me delete everything here. So let's just imagine that the price is going to get down even into a corrective way. So we have, for example, a falling wedge within the bull flag, and it breaks to the upside in the lower area of the bull flag. Then I can even just take a trade down below here, and once we break to the upside, I can increase my position size for this kind of push. And once we take out the top here, get a breakout retest, I can double up again. So depending on the structure, for sure, if the setup is good, ONDO can be a profitable trade, a very profitable trade. It was today, so basically it can be again tomorrow. So with that said, everything looks very bullish, even though we see some bearish chart patterns on the chart. I have showed you with, I don't know, I think TAO, but I can also show you that with SUI. For that we have to go into the 1 hour chart. Just because we have bearish chart patterns, like for example this head and shoulders formatation, as long as we don't break it here to the downside, as long no breakout happens, we can still go up with higher prices. So don't be afraid of bearish chart patterns, just be afraid if they break to the downside. So with that said, we see each other tomorrow, hopefully with nice price movements to the upside, or what I want, more chart patterns which we can trade. See you tomorrow.